Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tavin Dillard. I live in Chancellor Park. I mow lawns, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. I sure am glad to join me here on this podcast. I want to let you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. Now, I started out years ago on the YouTubes and then the TikToks and the Instagrams now and the whatnots. I got the websites, the tavindillard.com, but right now, I want to clue you into what's happening in my neck of the woods on the Tavin Dillard podcast. You here? I'm here. I'm glad you joined me. Now I'm going to send it over to myself. This is like the pre-introduction, but let's get on to the real show today. I'm glad you joined me here. Bank, bank. Hey y'all guys, it's Season 8, Episode 3 of the Tavin Dillard podcast. Now, if you listening on the day it comes out, it's 10/10. It's October's the 10th. And it's a Tuesday, because that's when this podcast comes out. And it's been a hoot of a week. There's been a lot, we still coming off the excitement of winning the Adult League Softball Championship. I ain't never won nothing like that. I don't know how to behave. I've been wearing my Team Burger Shed shirt quite a bit, though, with the roster on the back and that kind of thing. And then this past week, I mentioned it on a podcast. I think y'all are probably the first to know about it, that I was going to be getting into some breakfast this fall. And by breakfast, like, I don't know what your favorite one is, but I don't get mad at eggs over medium, a couple of pancakes, butter, even some sausage. I mean, if I had to choose between patties or links, I'll go patties, but I eat it all. Biscuits and gravy, that kind of thing. But, oh, Tavin, you forgot something. What'd I forget? Oh, that's right. What goes on that pancakes and butter? Maple syrup. I teamed up with Lincoln County Reserve, and I have Tavin's maple syrup from trees, and I've been telling you it's coming out. Well, it's finally here. So the link's in the show notes if you want to get a glass bottle of that. It is for sales. You'll see a link for that, and make breakfast a little better is the way I see it. But I mean, hey, you can do what you want. I'm just telling you where it's at. Where the tree is to pick it off of, which is the link in the show notes today. So I hope you're well, and like I said, now softball season's ended. There is a time, for other stuff. You know how it is, though. Once you start removing something from the schedule, taking it out, you find something else to fill it up with. Now, what you gonna get busy with? Now, I'm still mowing lawns, but I'm telling you, they starting to die. It's starting to peekaboo a little bit of fall, but then it's like, oh, it's hot again. Peekaboo, it might be cold today. Oh, the leaves might be changing. Peekaboo, not quite yet, but we getting there. But I'll tell you one thing, after last week's circus with the bingo game down at the nursing home with my Memaw and Mabel Childress, I mean, they's the instigators, or because of them, there was drama. That's what I'm going to say. Memaw, to her credit, she really did end up, kind of holding her tongue and her fist, and so it could have gotten a lot worse. But Memaw came out on top, and I'm hoping that she see how that work out, because she kept her cool, and she ended up with a swim lesson from Coach Hicks, which probably made her year, kind of thing. So but it's too much. It's just too much at a bingo game. Not to mention all the stuff that cricket's got to figure out just with the regular residents, other than them people that are just coming in for bingo. Memaw and Mabel, they don't live at the nursing home. They live in town, but they like bingos, the way that goes. But then you got Barry Gregory, Doreen Fundle, Elmore Fisdale, Dewey Morton trying to escape with a plastic spoon or something and the yogurt lid. I don't know what it was all about. I didn't want to take the time to try to figure all that out. But I do know that I was just thinking, after last week, Memaw and Mabel don't need to run into each other. It ain't going to make anything better, because Memaw liable to say something now she didn't last week, especially after she won. Like, hey, guess who's getting a private swim lesson with Coach Hicks? Wished you were there, kind of thing. I don't know what Memaw would say, but it probably wouldn't be nice just based on her track record. But she was gabbing with them gals down at Early Bird Gets to Perm. And you know how they just get around talking, and then you start kicking around ideas. Like, you go in there to Early Bird Gets to Perm on your hair appointment to get your hair did, maybe a manicure and pedicure. Lindy Ray Mantell, I mean, she on manicure pedicure duty, but she back on hair duty too. She's been doing okay. They still have her answering phones though. She ain't been there last month, not as much, because she just had a little baby, Trigger Mantell. Her husband's Cody, and they got that daughter Dap Lane. And so anyhow, Memaw's down there and gabbing with them gals, Tabby Jean Tipton, her friend Claudia, Gracie Dilroy runs the place. That's Chet's wife, and then Gracie's sister Delandra help her run it, so they all down there, and them guys get to talking, how's things going? And then, Memaw can't go too long anymore without talking about her baby dolls. She got a baby doll collection, and she want folks to know about it and how they doing. So it's not just like I got a new one, but in her mind, like they live in their own lives and like they actually have updates. I'm thinking, they's on the shelf all week, Memaw. Well, nope, not when she took them down for like a Snicker bar party or that kind of thing, or somebody got rotated into the box under the bed because they lost privileges or whatever. They ain't on the shelf no more. But she down there talking with them gals, and I start to think like my Memaw is the only one that does this, and apparently not. She get down there and them guys decide to have a baby doll parade. Now you may be wondering how they going to do this and who's going to be in the parade. Well, that's 2 more questions than I was wondering, because I did not care. I did not want to get into it. I didn't want to ask about it, because when you start asking questions, you start getting answers, and then you start getting volunteered for jobs. And the last thing I wanted to be about my week is like the grandmaster of a baby doll parade, or whatever they call them, the choir director, or the drum major of the baby doll parade. I don't know what it would be called, but I feel like I'd end up in some sort of outfit with a title that I didn't want, doing a parade that I had no idea should even exist. So here's who's in the baby doll parade. Memaw's baby dolls, of course. So Clarice Bonwell, Beatrice Gale Merton, Becky Thacker Haynes, Babs Gristle, Clive Bushnell, Nurse Wylena Parchman, and Rachel Christine! Tabby Jean Tipton, Claudia, and even Gracie Dilroy, they wanted to bring their dolls to the baby doll parade. Now, I don't know their baby dolls' names. I know Memaw's, and she make a big deal out of that, but I don't know. I was thinking, Memaw, you had trouble getting Rachel Christine out before, where, she got thrown into the dunk tank at the spring picnic. I think my brother Brett was a part of that. My brother Brett stole her about last Christmas, sold her so he could get some batteries for a remote control car, and he had to go fetch that back from Rusty Tidwell. So Rachel Christine was technically Rusty Tidwell's daughters for a few minutes on Christmas before Memaw figured out what was going on, and Brett had to go get all that back. But I was like, I don't know if you want to take it outside kind of thing, Memaw. Like, why would you do this if you had trouble when Rachel Christine left the trailer and she's such a big deal to you? I don't know why you put her in like harm's way kind of thing, but it wasn't my baby doll, and it certainly wasn't my baby doll parade, so whatever that means. So where's the parade going to be, you asking me by now? And I'm like, okay, well, I can tell you. They talked about different places. Tabby Jean's got a pretty big size yard on the outside of town. Could be there. Chancellor Park, that's the trailer park I live in, Memaw lives in. Me and Memaw don't share the same trailer. And y'all probably know that, but she about 2 trailers back from me, from the entrance when you come in Chancellor Park. I'm on the left-hand side, about 2-3 trailers up, and she about 2-3 trailers back past that. I used to live with her years ago, and it was better that we got our own place, She got her life to live, and I got mine. And apparently, when she gets a hold of too much, it could be a lot of things, but usually it's produce, like plums, apricots, anything that's like small, where she loses track of how many she ate, and they tear her guts up. Like you eat a whole watermelon, that kind of thing. Just some, Memaw can put the food away. So I'll put it to you like that. But she also forget, every season that what they're going to do to her guts if she don't throttle back none. And that's when you light a Roman candle instead of a regular candle in the trailer to try to deaden that stank a little bit. And I just say, long story longer, it's easier for us to have a separate trailers, for sure. But I'll tell you right now, that was one of the options. They thought about Thunder Punch, Coach Hicks boxing gym down there, do a parade down there. I bet Memaw was in on that because, I feel like she got a crush on Coach Hicks, which grosses me out. But the parade ended up where the whole idea started, which was the early bird gets the Perm parking lot. I mean, I guess the idea started, under them hair dryer chairs inside early bird gets the Perm. But the actual parade gonna be in the parking lot. Early bird gets the Perm. It's got a goodly sized parking lot. I mean, it holds upwards of 16, 17 cars. You know, they don't need much more than that because it's a standalone. It ain't like Donut goes, you know, down on Main Street. It's opposite side of Burger Shed and it's farther down on Main Street. But it got like an auto parts store. You know how you get into them parking lots and there's a few of them right next to each other kind of thing? That ain't Early Bird Gets to Perm. It's a standalone. I think it's a house years ago, you know, and then they turned it into a business and they either knocked over the building that was next to it or it was just an open lot. But anyways, it's a parking lot now, and that parking lot is going to be where they have this baby doll parade with all of them in their fall outfits. You know, it's a new season too, so I think that's what got them talking, because they're talking about, you know, just, oh, what are you going to wear this fall? And Memaw, you know, she hit a deal, some sort of sale they having up at Uptown Gal. You know, that's Donna Glenda, Dwight L's store in town. It's a women's clothing store, and they got creased britches, and Memaw got a steady, you know, entourage. Is that the word? Moo-moos. She got a bunch of moo-moos. I don't know, but anyhow, she got so many moo-moos for different seasons. Flannel ones for the winter, cooler ones for the summer, different patterns, that kind of thing. I was a little bit surprised that she was going to rotate crease britches into her ensemble. Maybe that's a better word than entourage. I think so. Her baby dolls, that's her entourage. Anyhow, that I don't need no more $5 words today. That'll take it out of me. But these gals, what they did was they lined up in their lawn chairs, and, you know, they get their baby dolls all in their outfits. So, you know, she's got Clarice Bonwell. Her daddy was a mud farmer. She's all dressed up in kind of like a orange dress, but it's more like for the time period. She's an 1800s gal, so there wasn't a lot of print on it. It wasn't fancy. Beatrice Gale Merton had more like flower or dead leaves, you know, like fall kind of thing on it. Becky Thacker Haynes, same thing. It was all with this kind of orange, brown, yellow, you know, theme a little bit. Rachel Christine was the only one that had a bonnet, but Memaw just braided her hair and didn't want to cover it up, so the bonnet was around her neck kind of thing. So imagine, if you will, all these baby dolls, but they don't walk and they ain't real. So, you know, you got to get them there, and then you got to line them up how you want to. So the gals that's part of this parade, they lining up lawn chairs, and everybody had to figure out how to move their dolls through the parade route. See, that's the thing. You know, it's like, okay, these baby dolls ain't going to walk it, y'all guys. And then you got to basically carry these things, and then now who's left to watch the parade? And didn't nobody really know about it unless they's at Early Bird Gets to Perm that day. So you can see what's happening here. It's for these gals. You know, I tell you right now, and I don't speak baby doll. I ain't in the brain of a baby doll, but them baby dolls didn't care if they's in a parade or not. I'll tell you that. But Memaw and Tabby Jean Tipton and Claudia and Gracie and Delandra, all them folks, they sure did. Well, guess who shows up at the baby doll parade? Who I was trying to keep away from Memaw this week, and we were trying to make sure they didn't have the same time hair appointment, and that they didn't want to go to Walmart's at the same time, and they didn't go down to water aerobics class at the same time. You guessed it, the one and only Mabel Childress. Now, Mabel is the gal whose grandbaby is Brody Childress. You might know him as a recent softball league champion for Team Burger Shed. He's married to Brandy Lynn. She make a beautiful 3-bean salad, and they got 3 cars. You know, for as troubles they have with the money, you know, they can't patch that floorboard in the Suzuki Sidekick well enough to keep it. You know, they keep losing baby shoes at the bottom of that, but they got that Sidekick. They got that 86 two-tone Buick Century, and they got a Ford Windstar van. It's a minivan. So they can get around. That's one thing they can do. Hey, maybe they can't pay their cable bill this month, but they can drive to somebody's house who can. That's the way I see it. So Mabel show up with a chatty Cathy, and she wanted everybody to go back to the parking lot after they already did this parade. So let me tell you how the parade went, though, before I tell you about Mabel. Memaw had Brett pull a wagon. She got a hold of my brother Brett, and he had a wagon with them all in that wagon, all of hers. Now, them other gals, some of them would just hold them. They had baby strollers for these dolls. I was like, come on. And Cheryl Grubb said she wasn't there at the parade, but she goes, oh, I got a baby stroller for Jalapeno. I'm like, there ain't no way that doggy's sit in a stroller. He can't sit still long enough to get put in a Chevy Cobalt. I mean, he in that, and they leave the windows down full time. He hopped right back out. He clawed up the hood of that car after he got a hold of that cotton candy at the championship game. There ain't no way that struggler going to keep jalapeno in unless they got like a hamburger in there that he's gnawing on. But anyhow, Brett, so everybody found their own way to get their baby dolls around this parade route, and they played some song, I don't know, on a CD player or something. Whatever CD they had, I can't remember what it was, but it was like jazz and Christmas music, so it was pretty slow, you know, for being a parade. It wasn't like, you know, almost put you to sleep. But I guess that's what they had laying around. Early bird gets the perm. But Memaw had Brett pull a wagon with all them baby dolls in it, except, of course, Rachel Christine. Memaw held her on her shoulder. Imagine that, if you will. Memaw in her own fall moo-moo, but she decided to like switch it up and wear creased breeches under it. So I don't know. She looked like maybe a karate person or somebody that's wearing breeches, but then they got like a long robe on, but it's a moo-moo. And she got Rachel Christine perched up on that shoulder with a bonnet around her neck, but not over her hair because her hair just got braided. And she in a fall dress that looks like 20 times better than anything them other baby dolls is wearing. So Mabel show up, and she got a Chatty Cathy doll. This is about 20 minutes later, and I don't know how many baby doll parades you've been in, especially around a parking lot that fits about 17 cars, but about a minute and a half, you pretty much done. So I don't know how even Mabel heard about this. It's not like they sent out an invite, but she showed up with a Chatty Cathy doll and wanted everybody to go back to the parking lot after they've been inside now. They having lemonade, iced tea, and popcorn inside Early Bird Gets the Perm, talking about how beautiful them baby dolls are. Some of them gals are taking pictures, that kind of thing. And everybody's like, nope. Parade's over, Mabel. You know, we ain't gonna do that right now, but you're welcome to, you know, sit your baby doll up here on the counter with some of these other baby dolls if you just want to look at it. And so while they in there, you know, Memaw trying not to make eye contact, but I mean, for 2 weeks in a row, that's a hard ask. I mean, that's a tall order to say, Memaw, don't even get into it with Mabel for 2 weeks straight. But so far so good, and Memaw, you know, she got her babies to think about. So she, you know, she didn't want to get hauled off to jail in front of her baby dolls. You know how that might scar them if they see her, you know, getting pulled out of Early Bird Gets the Perm because she just figured for a leg lock Mabel Childress and then got her in an arm bar and then went into the full Nelson kind of thing. Because Memaw, she got it. Well, Mabel walked over there to where Memaw and some of the guys were, and she had Chatty Cathy headbutt Rachel Christine. That's right. And Chatty Cathy got a high forehead, and she hit that thing. She hit Rachel Christine so hard on one of them braids, and she just kind of falled over because she's sitting on the counter, and now Rachel Christine, like sideways, hit the ground. She hit the floor. Early Bird Gets the Perm in her fancy fall dress. So, buddy, you better know the gloves came off. Thank goodness, though, Lindy Ray Mantell, she got farm girl strength, and she picked up Mabel, and she carried Mabel outside. And Memaw was hotter than a firecracker. I mean, she went up like she was going to take a swing at Mabel, but then she looked like she's towed, because she's like, I got to get Rachel Christine off the ground, but I got to get Mabel on the ground, kind of thing's what she's thinking. Well, Memaw finally decided to pick Rachel Christine over Mabel, and she went to check on her baby doll and gave Lindy Ray enough time to carry Mabel Childress out like a sack of taters over her shoulder, like, not today, Mabel. And so Mabel, she's too mad to drive, and they didn't care none about that. So they had Brandon Lynn come down there and pick her up in the Ford Windstar. And they said, take Chatty Cathy with you. We don't want to look at her no more. She came in here and got violent. The way they say it is Chatty Cathy got violent, you know, at the Early Bird Gets the Perm. And, you know, what you call poor parenting. Like, the reason Chatty Cathy's so mean is because Mabel Childress, you know, didn't teach her no better. Like, she thinks that's the way you solve your problems, is to headbutt somebody after a baby doll parade inside Early Bird Gets the Perm. Now I'm thinking, this is about as much nonsense as you can get into, because them baby dolls ain't got any like feelings, and they ain't got, you know, they don't think or nothing. But you, good luck telling them that. Hey, you want to see a real fight start, you say something like that after a big old baby doll parade, a big old fall baby doll parade. So Mabel Childress, she came down and she picked Mabel up in that Ford Windstar, and she had her boy BW in there. He wears cleats everywhere he goes. He's on that T-ball team I coached earlier in the year, assistant coach. You know, Russell Tucker was the head coach. His boy Jesse was on the team. But Brandy Lynn had that little boy BW in there, and then she picked up Mabel, said, come on, you know. And Brandy Lynn ain't her kin through blood. She her kin through marriage. You know, she married Brody, that's, you know, Mabel's grandbaby. But anyway, Brett said he you know, he was hot too. He's still down there, you know. I don't know, he's had a pretty decent day, you know, like Memaw got a hold of him, and he did that baby doll parade, pulling that wagon around, and then he went inside for a little bit of parkin, and then after that headbutt thing, you know, he said he could make that Chatty Cathy pay, you know, for headbutting Rachel Christine, like, you know, like put a hit out on Chatty Cathy, or what's her name? Chatty Cathy. Anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. The one with the big old forehead. Well, Memaw was interested in that. She kind of, you could see her thinking about it, but DeLondra just gave Brett some cookies. She brought out the back because they was running out of popcorn, and she asked him to leave. They's like chocolate chip or something, or like fudge stripe. So, you know, it was a pretty big deal to Brett. And he left. And them cookies got him out of there. So DeLondra basically did the same thing that I've been doing with Memaw this whole week, is run interference. Like, don't let her and Mabel see each other. Well, DeLondra did that with Brett and said, don't get him talking about how he's going to go make Chatty Cathy pay. Boy, say that 3 times fast. So he left. I saw the tail end of all this coming back from working in some lawns. You know, I was at Imogene Watkins' house in the neighborhood, and I was raking leaves and mowing the lawn and working on some edging and some different things. And she said, hey, Tappan, you want to come in for a snack? You know, like that way. And if you know anything about my history with Raymond and Imogene Watkins, the snacks that she offer, they wouldn't even be on a menu anywhere. There ain't a restaurant, there ain't a place, maybe most kitchens in town, and I'm talking about just in people's houses, would not serve this stuff to their dogs, much less to somebody that they know that's cutting their lawn. Like the color of the nanner that she tried to serve me one time, there ain't even a word to describe how dark it was. It was pitch black, I mean wrinkled, like that thing. I think about it and I shiver. And not just because of what it looked like, because when I first seen it, I thought, boy, that definitely looks like a crow, like a baby crow. Like, did something happen to this crow and she thinks it's good eating? But it didn't have a beak, and I'm like, well, there ain't no way she de-beaked a crow just to hand it to me after I mowed her lawn. But I'm telling you, that thing, you know, not only did I see it, I ate that thing, y'all guys. Now, I didn't have to get it all down, but boy, I dry heaved and gagged through a goodly sized portion of it. Another time she had hot raisin compote. I don't know what that go. I think you can glaze a ham with some sort of raisin thing, but I don't know why she handing out cups of it like I'm gonna drink it. I mean, that's like drinking a cup of white gravy. Actually, it ain't like that, because I would do that. But, you know, there's things that are like, they liquid, but they ain't liquids that you drink. They liquids that you pour over like other things. But anyhow, I was coming from her neighborhood, and I don't know what kind of snack I avoided today, because I just told her, I can't do that. I need to get into town. So I get over there from Imogene's. You know, we about 3 blocks, I guess, man, 2.5 blocks or so from Early Bird Gets to Perm. All I see is Brett running away with a handful of cookies and Mabel getting hauled off in Brandy Lynn and Brody's Ford Windstar. So I'm putting 3 and 2 together, and I was like, I don't know what happened, but I know there's some drama, and either it went full bore and it played out, and this is the aftermath, or it got avoided, and this is what it looks like when it's a good day over there, kind of thing. You know, maybe there wasn't no fight yet. I do know Memaw's baby dolls did get back to her trailer fine. But Babs Gristle, she ended up getting put in a box under Memaw's bed because she didn't come to Rachel Christine's defense quick enough. That's what Memaw said. She goes, Babs Gristle, you know, really disappointed me today. She was closest to Rachel Christine. She could have done something, and she deliberately, you know, turned her head. And I'm like, well, I've seen Babs Gristle. She got a loose neck. You know, she got one of them loose necks. You know how them baby dolls, some of them get wobbly. So I don't know. You know, I ain't trying to get into the mind of the baby doll, but apparently Memaw's already there. And Babs Gristle earned a spot in the box under the bed, and I don't know how long that's going to be. Babs Gristle, if you know anything about her, she can spot like a poisonous snake from 50 yards away. If you're 50 yards out from a poisonous snake with Babs Gristle, she can tell you, yep, that's poisonous. She also digs post holes. So, I mean, you know, she pretty good gal to have on your team, but apparently if she ain't going to defend Rachel Christine from getting headbutted by Chatty Cathy, then pickle boon. See you later, Babs. So I don't know if that's it for the fall for them baby dolls, but I'm thinking, Memaw, that's exhausting. You gonna go through all that. She did avoid a fight, so I don't know. Maybe Memaw's turned over a new leaf. Maybe these baby dolls have softened her up a little bit. I don't know. I ain't counting on that at all. You know, it's the October, so we getting into the Halloween season, pumpkin season. I got a couple pumpkins to carve. I got a couple pumpkin helmets. If you ever see my videos on the Instagrams and the TikToks and the YouTubes and the Facebooks, you probably know. But I've got pumpkin helmet videos coming out this month. I got a couple new baby doll weather reports coming out this month here in October's. A lot going on. And the syrup is here. We had a Bank mug giveaway this past week that was announced on last Friday's, October the 6th. And Katie from Ohio, congratulations, she won that mug. It's got sent out to her, so that was a hoot. And I'll probably be doing more giveaways soon, so just stay in touch. If you just go to my website, which I'll put that in the show notes today, there'll be a box that pops up, say, hey, you want to be in touch? And then you just put in your email address so I can keep in touch, let you know when the contests are going on. In fact, that enters you, you know, in any future contest, but when I run them too, I'll let you know, so you know what's going on that week. So it's been a hoot. People have been showing up at the website, checking out what we got over there, you know, which is basically, you know, we got the hoodies. Tank top season may be fading out a little bit, depending on who you are. You might wear a tank top year round. Got the Early Bird Gets the Perm hoodies, Burger Shed hoodies, Bank hoodies, Squirrel in a Headlock hoodies. Got the Donuts hat, Bank hat, and hey, I'll tell you some breaking news. I ain't never done this before. Somebody's asking about it last year, and I was like, well, maybe we can get it done next year. Well, here it is next year, and I'm looking at getting beanies, which they like cover your head for winter wear. The Bank beanies, same patch, same Bank patch that goes on the hats, but it's on the front of a beanie. So keep an ear out for that, or an eye out, or whatever you keep out. But don't keep your baby dolls out in the cold too long when the weather changes, and please keep them away from Mabel Childress's antics, best I can say. So it's been a good week in town. You know, I got a lot of work done. Apparently, you know, by all accounts that I heard, the baby doll parade itself was a success. So that's good. Just what happened afterwards inside Early Bird Gets the Perm was just unfortunate. That's how they tell. Oh, it was an unfortunate event. But everybody okay, except maybe Babs Gristle. So I appreciate y'all joining me here today on the Tabby Dillard podcast. We moving heavy duty into season 8, episode 3. And a few people on the YouTubes have asked, hey, where's the video? Right now, I ain't doing videos for the podcast. It's like a radio show for your ears. That may change, but right now, it's just, you know, if you go on the YouTubes to listen to me, you'll say, boy, he ain't moving. It's just a still photo of him. But I hear him, and that's how it is right now. But thank y'all for checking me out on the Spotify or the Apple Podcasts or the YouTubes or wherever you listen to this at. I sure appreciate it. I'm glad that you're kicking into the merry month of October's with me. I hope you're getting all the pumpkin spice you can handle. I ain't really doing that because I'm eating some bacon. And I'm pouring maple syrup on my pancakes. But you enjoy the flavors of the season. And hey, if you can comment on this and share and subscribe to this podcast, all that helps. Share it with other people. Leave me a comment. Check the show notes for all that's going on there. You know, you'll see what we got going on today. Oh, the maple syrup from trees. You'll see that link first. You'll see the link to my website where you can sign up to be part of, you know, Chancellor Park newsletter. And then you'll see how to text me or email me. Appreciate hearing from y'all during the weeks. And hey, if you ain't been headbutted by Chatty Cathy this week after a baby doll parade down at Early Bird Gets the Perm, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.